Now, first and foremost, Pavanji, I would like to congratulate not only yourself, but the entire core group of Independent Ethics Society. The effort that you put in to bring together stakeholders, the effort that you bring
माझंच चालू आहे.
in choosing the correct authorities to come
Okay.
and talk and share their wisdom. And you're not doing this once or twice, sir. You're doing this repeatedly. 237. I'm sure we'll see 1,000 more seminars. Congratulations. I see on this forum this evening, I see wherever I look, there are approximately 4 screens that have opened. Whichever screen that I go to, I see a teacher, I see a guru, I see a
Okay.
senior
इकडचं चालू
practitioner.
आहे actually.
My greetings to everyone because I see colleagues from industry also. And it's an absolute pleasure to see everybody right here itself. Dr. DC Katoch has laid the foundation. By the way, Dr. DC Katoch, in his introduction, I think it's very important, Dr. Katoch, for relatively younger people like myself, to basically certainly acknowledge. Sir, you have been an inspiration and a mentor for a better part of almost 2.5 decades for us. Your entire presence, not only in Ministry of Ayush, thereafter through WHO and back to Ministry of Ayush, you have continuously given us the voice of reason. Even today, sir, you have correctly hit the nail on the head. You have talked about continued smooth supply for industry. And that is something, sir, that we need to
मी
address.
ते चालू
You
केलं
have
व्हिडिओ
correctly
ऑन.
also laid down the entire foundation. Very, very clearly,
तर
you have said it that it's not viable for an independent Ayurved industry member to really go ahead and import mercury on its own. We are dependent on the entire trade. The aspect, Dr. Katoch, which has not been tried in my sector till now, is how do we canalize certain raw materials by which there is a select import and there is a select kind of supply for licensed Ayurved or Siddha or Unani manufacturers. This kind of canalization, this kind of special treatment has somehow not been done in our entire industry. How to do it? Maybe it's time that we did it for the first time and we really took this matter forward in that entire matter. So, that is going to be a challenge for our within the Ayush industry for people to work alongside each other work with each other and really get to doing something like this. So that canalization is something that's important. With regards to dealing with the database on how much mercury that our industry uses, Dr. JLN Shastri will probably throw more light on it. But in his entire tenure in NMPB, he has wonderfully designed an online database for my entire industry colleagues to put their scheduled TA submissions, which are due on June 30th every year. So even this year, for the financial year 2021, June 30th, 2021, our data of consumption of not only herbal and medicinal plants, but even animal byproducts, even minerals like mercury, and the kind of problems that we are having. We've been given an opportunity under Schedule TA to submit our data. I would urge all my industry members who are present here to use this online kind of mechanism because please trust me, instantly Ministry of Ayush will be completely in the know of what is the kind of consumption of mercury that is used by Ayurved, Siddha and Unani industry. And I think this kind of database, this kind of cooperation is the first base cooperation that my industry should do. And I urge all our colleagues to use the entire NMPP website to enrich it with our kind of data by which policy and action can follow. Now, the most important part, how do we ensure smooth flow for industry? My views in this are like this, that just now the traders who are supporting industry, and I'm being a little blunt, if I am wrong, I hope I am wrong, but the traders who are supplying mercury to industry are pure and clearly exploiting the opportunity to make just a lot of lottery kind of largesse. So a bottle of mercury 34.5 kilos, which was available at 160, 165, 170 not a few months back, has blossomed to almost 4 lakh, 4 lakh 20, has now stabilized at 3 lakh 75 and 3 lakh 60. This kind of inflation is not warranted at all. And this kind of particular exploitation of the opportunity is something that's going on. I'm sure Dr. Shastri will also reflect on this entire matter and give us some solutions towards how the canalizing can probably take place. But this has been a very, very bad effect. The other part that is also seen, which I would like to make, and I will forgive me, but I will take 2 or 3 minutes more because I want to make these points. Once again, the Ayurved sector has suffered a collateral damage because our identity has not been selectively recognized. Right from 2008, 2009, whether it is NMPB or whether it's Ministry of Ayush, they have been writing to industry. In 2008 or 9, ADMA as an association has responded to Ministry of Ayush. Dudh Papeshwar as a company has responded to Ayush. Time and time again, you can see almost every other year there has been cooperation from the industry and contributing to and establishing the need, essential need for essential medicine of mercury by Ayurved Siddha Unani sector. Matt McDormand was a agency appointed by UNDP, I guess. I'm not sure, some United Nations kind of agency. They have conducted a survey, they've conducted a youth seminar, representatives from industry have gone and given very, very lengthy memorandums towards it. Ministry of Ayush themselves, on behalf of the entire sector, have addressed not one but participated in many meetings to ensure that Ayurved Siddha Unani industry get that kind of special exemption. We have got that kind of special exemption, but then when you reflect on the 9th September, Amit Verma ji's DGFT notification moving the entire mercury from free to restriction, there could have been simply one particular sentence added that the free status continues for Ayurved, Siddha, and Unani industry. Traders, the entire Form X, which they have given in a website kind of link down there, could have simply said, give the license number of the Ayush industry who is going to be using this entire mercury, by which this special import or free import of mercury can be given. Not only would this have saved all kinds of jitters, all kinds of nervousness, all kinds of chaos that has suffered, all kinds of financial loss that has suffered, because please understand, a company of my size, maybe we call ourselves medium or a little bit more than medium, whichever way, our mercury consumption today is at a loss of 20-35 lakh rupees per month. Now, how many months will I tolerate this loss? I will be passing this loss on to the consumer, ultimate consumer. Does he deserve to be suffering at already expensive Ayurved medicines this additional kind of inflationary pressure because a trader wishes to get some lottery kind of largesse? This kind of chaos, this kind of non-recognition of Ayurved Siddha Unani could have been avoided, and I believe it should have. Now, whilst having said all of this on the policy front, canalizing, smooth front, there is a lot of clarification that needs to be done. We'll pay heed to every word that Dr. Katoch has said and move it forward. ADMA, for its entire point, has submitted a 185 detailed page memorandum to not just DGFT, but 26, including all the Ayurved Member of Parliament who should be helping us in our time of need. This memorandum has gone out. Pavanji, I will make a copy available to you also. It has gone to all my colleague associations also for their entire information. Now, the most important part, I speak to all the practitioners who are manufacturing their own mercury products, and I speak to all the industry who has also been purchasing and manufacturing mercury products. See, our handling, our storage, our transportation, our grammage wise accounting of mercury, the manner in which we will be dealing with our emissions, the manner in which we will be dealing with our effluents, the manner in which we will be dealing with our bhattis, this entire particular process is about to undergo a sea change, 180 degrees change there will be. Now we should brace ourselves positively taking this entire change into our midst, because if mercury is polluting, if mercury creates toxicity, it's no sense creating a voice that says, Nahi, Ayurved mercury is safe. Yes, Kajali, when process is safe. But all the entire handling, transportation, storage, if when you speak to Dr. C.K. Katiyar, he tells you about the kind of studies that he has done. I'm sure Dr. Shastri will also share some of the details there. But our entire emission and effluent control, Our entire handling of mercury is about to undergo an absolute kaya palat, and we have to welcome this entire change. We cannot be left behind under some traditional medicine exemption and be irresponsible, non-accountable for mercury. So please understand, whilst we go towards canalizing and a smooth flow of mercury supplies, lot of responsibility comes there at our factory, at our particular Rasashala, to ensure that proper particular accounting and proper handling methodology is something that's required. And nonetheless, again, Dr. Shastri and Professor Prajapati is also here. And I see Galib ji is also here. I see many academia is also here. I would like you all to really reflect how this kind of training, how this kind of sensitization, how such kind of insight can be given to Ayurved, Siddha, Unani industry, maybe series of kind of YouTube videos or series of kind of seminars, but this kind of very hardcore training is required within the industry for us to cope with this challenge as a responsible industry. We cannot be, exactly what Dr. Pavanji said, we cannot allow our particular mercury consumption to start contaminating the neighborhoods and the premises in which we are operating. These are also responsible things that we have to do. With these few words, I'm sure there's a lot of things that I want to say and reflect, but I thought this would be something very important. Thank you, Pavanji, for these 5 minutes that I've almost taken in addressing everyone. Thank you.
Now, in the last, I would like to come again to Dr. Sri Ranjit Puranik ji and Joyalant Sastri ji for his views about today's webinar and how we make our way forward to reach to the government and international substantiation regarding in our favor. Please, Ranjit Puranik ji.
Respected Dr. Ashok Vaidya ji, Dr. Madan, Prajapati ji, Dr. Harish ji from Canada, and Harishankar ji. Tapan ji was also here. There are many seniors here. Dilip ji, you are also a practitioner. See, we are manufacturers, and it's our responsibility to provide Shastra Shuddha, Mankikrut medicines to you continually at the best particular economy that we can probably give you. And this responsibility that we partake, we take it very, very seriously. Now, the most important point, which is an outcome, Pavanji, that as a group, you have brought us all together. And the most important point that we have to come out from this is that if my company will lose X amount of money, it is not wrong for me to say that collectively, all of the industry assembled here today is losing anything between 10-20 lakh rupees per day. And this loss does not know a Sunday, Monday, Diwali, Dhanteras. It knows nothing. Now, the most important point here, which was made by Dr. D.C. Katoch, was to ensure the smooth supply of mercuries for licensed Ayurved manufacturers, Siddha or Unani manufacturers. Now, this point, somehow we have not come down to real brass tacks in this seminar, if I may be permitted to basically mention this. So one of the first and last points, Dr. Pavan, I will make is somewhere, maybe not in a public forum and not in a meeting, but maybe a more video conference meeting as a follow-up. We need to pull in our wisdom, and we need to understand that this is a collective problem. Each one of us is bleeding 10-20 lakh rupees a day, and we need to come quickly and sort out this entire problem, by which we do not and are not held ransom by trade in between, using whatever basically hoarding capacity that they have. And this misuse and disuse will have damaging effect on the consumer as well as the Ayurved practitioner, which we as manufacturers have taken it upon ourselves to ensure that their practice and the consumer trust in Ayurveda continues. This is one unaddressed particular issue that I still write on my writing pad that we need to take forward. Once again, thank you again for allowing me this last word, because that's something very, very important that we must take forward. Thank you.